Hi. In this video, we're going to be turning our microbit chip into a die. You know, when you roll the dice and you get a number, 1 to 6, for example. So how would you do that? Well, I guess the input, I'm not going to do start or forever. The input I'm going to do is shaking. You kind of roll the dice, you shake the dice. So I'm going to do it that way. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a variable. Just because variables are always more powerful. They allow you to do different things. That you can store the die roll and then use it in another part of the program. So I'm going to go and make a variable, and I'm going to call it die roll. And I'm going to set that die roll to, and then it should randomize it, shouldn't it? So if I go down to maths, I'm going to pick a random number. Now that number could be anything. But if you think about it, dies don't have a 0. So it must be 1, 2. If you have a 6-sided die, it would be 1 to 6. If you had a 4-sided die, 1 to 4. A D12 would be 1 to 12, a D20, 1 to 20, etc. But potentially you could have as many faces as you wanted. I'm going to make it a D1 to 6. And I'm going to create my die roll so that it'll show visibly on the face of the die. So when I roll it, when I shake it, the variable die roll stores a number between 1 and 6. It's a random number, so I don't know which one it is. And then if it's a 1, it must display a 1. If it's a 2, it must display a 2, etc. So I'm going to go and need those ifs with a whole lot of else's. And then I'm going to have to say, if the die roll, I don't believe it. If you watch my videos, you'll know that that happens every single time. So if the die roll is equal to 1, then on the face of it, I want it to display a single pip. Else if, and then I can just duplicate that, if the die roll is a 2, then it must display 2 pips. And if it's a 3, etc. So I just carry on right-clicking and duplicating those. If it's a 3, then it must show, I'm not quite sure which one. There we go. That should be that one here. A 3. And let me just get that quickly. If it's a 4, I should have chosen a 4-sided dice. If it's 4, then it must show 4 pips. So that's what? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Else if it's a 5, then it must show a 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in the middle. And finally, if it's a 6, then it must display a 6, which is 1, 2. How does it go? It goes like that, doesn't it? Something like that. So that kind of should work very simply. So let me test it. I shake it, it shows a 1, 5, a 2, 3, 6, 6, a 5. So that's basically working. Now what I could do, just to get it fancy, I could go down to functions and make a function called, I've got to click inside do something and put die roll. Okay. And then I could put all of that inside the function. And then on the shake, I could call up die roll. And the reason that might be powerful is that I could have different functions. So I could have a function for a D6, like I've got here, create another function for a D12 or for a D20. And then when I click shake, I can call up my D6 or my D12 or my D20 if I'm playing a role play game, for example. So it would make it more powerful. And I could have on button A pressed, you get a D6. If I press button B, I get a D12. And that would make this program a lot more powerful. But hey, this one works. Have fun playing die rolls. I could sit rolling die all day, really, I could.